And all you need to do is open to that wisdom and compassion, and then you can be in that Buddha field. So it doesn't matter if you're in a prison or not.
Okay. Rev Matthew, I have some questions about the Pure Land tradition, because and some people do not believe if Pure Land does it really exist, the Pure Land? And where is the Pure Land? Is it in the Western or Eastern or something? If we see now in the modern science, we know that Earth is not flat. Well, even though some people believe that Earth is flat, but in the modern science, we know that Earth is not flat, right? So Earth is just
Right.
like a ball. So if we are some people saying about the Western Pure Land, then we might ask, where is the rest of the Earth? Then so maybe you can explain it more.
Right. The easiest way to explain that is, well, there are two aspects. Pure Land is translated from, in Sanskrit, Buddha Kshetra. This means Buddha field. Now, I don't think they really mean a Buddha, like a real estate field, like the Buddha's island or the Buddha's country.
So it's not literal meaning, right?
Right. Buddha field, that makes more sense, because a Buddha is an energetic being. So you would create a field, and a very pure Buddha, Amida Buddha, in the case Amitabha, can generate a massive field of this purity, where confusion, all the difficulties of samsara are not present. So for when I talk about Pure Land in the Reno, this is what I talk about, the Buddha field generated by Amitabha. Now, and then the next question that you ask is, where is it? In the sutra, it says in the West. Well, what happens in the West? The sun goes down in the West, even in a spherical world like we live. Well, the sun going down, that's a symbol of death, at the end of our life. Our life is one day. We're born, we live, and then we die. Just like each day is born anew with the dawn and ends with sunset. So in the direction of death, in the direction of ultimacy, that's what that means. So this energetic field, I'm using my hands to kind of describe imagine this amorphous ball of energy surrounding Amitabha. It's in the West because it is of ultimate importance. It's always here. It's very close. Even in the sutra, the Buddha says to Ananda, it's in the West, but it's also, and then in the smaller Pure Land Sutra, he says to Ananda, it's in the West, and it's in so many million leagues in the distance. But then in the Meditation Sutra, he says that it is very proximate. It is very close to you. It is right here. So that Buddha field is what we're talking about. And the word West is used in the symbolic sense to mean the ultimate.
Okay. That's long.
Oops, I should have stopped.
That's okay. I tried to get the essence of this. Because in doing talk translation, sometimes it's not really necessary to get each word by word. But anyway, let me try to rephrase this. Jadi gini, ketika kita bicara tanah suci, kalau di sini disebut Buddha field, itu di terjemahan Sanskritnya kan Buddha Setra. Itu tuh bukan kayak real estate gitu ya. Bukan kayak, mungkin kalau daerahnya di Surabaya itu apa sih, daerah real estate tertentu bukan gitu, bukan kompleks perumahan, tapi lebih kepada sebuah field atau sebuah ruang energi ya, ruang energi kita sebut aja seperti itu. Tadi dicontohin pakai tangan buletan, jadi kalau ada kehadiran seorang Buddha itu dia memancarkan sebuah energi yang dapat menghapus atau sebuah energi lah kita bilang yang diradiasikan. Nah, sedangkan kenapa di barat? Barat itu satu simbol, matahari kan tenggelamnya di barat, ya. Jadi kematian juga adanya di barat. Nah, kemudian matahari kan juga kemudian, jadi barat itu adalah satu simbol satu hari yang berakhir dalam hidup kita. Lalu di dalam sutra juga ini yang saya rangkum ya, bahwa juga dikatakan kalau tanah suci itu ada di dekat kamu gitu, ada di dekat kamu. So reference is basically because I think there are many symbol in Buddhism, right? Like the West, I would like also have this, like I have this kind of thought, like actually because the world is round, where is flat? Where is West actually? Because if you are standing here and the West could be somewhere, so it means like what you say proximity. Basically, the West is everywhere. Like
Right.
everywhere.
If you're going to run around the world, you would start right here.
Yeah.
Where would you end? Right
Right here.
here. So it could be very far away, but it's a ball. So you come back to where you were in the first place.
So basically, when you talk about, because some people have this, oh, it's in the West, so they have to they have to go to the direction in the West. Luna in the Sun Gokong story, the Chinese Sun Gokong story, that
Right.
they are looking for the kitab. What is kitab? the Dharma book. They go travel to the West but actually the West is everywhere. Everywhere could be the West. So it means that the Buddha land, it's everywhere. The Buddha field is everywhere actually.
Right. And in the Meditation Sutra, the Buddha is talking to Vaidehi, who is in prison at the time. She cannot go anywhere. But he tells her that the Buddha Amitabha is teaching right now, very close to you. And all you need to do is open to that wisdom and compassion, and then you can be in that Buddha field. So it doesn't matter if you're in a prison or not. Or you're constrained by you can't travel. That doesn't matter at all. It comes back to you right here in your life, opening to wisdom and compassion. That is the most important.
And before we had a conversation about time. Like the only thing that exists is now and now. So when you talk about that, even she is in prison, he can practice now, and the Buddha is present with her now.
Right.
Okay, let me translate. Jadi di sutra tentang meditasi itu Buddha mengajarkan kepada satu orang di penjara bahwa ya meskipun kamu ada di penjara, tapi Amitabha Buddha itu ada di dekat kamu. Dia mengajarkan Dharma kepada kamu. Kamu hanya perlu terbuka dan menerima kehadiran si Buddha Amitabha tersebut. Terus tadi sebelum kita mulai juga kita ngobrol soal zona waktu. Beliau itu tepatnya sekarang masih hari Sabtu. Ya, di sana masih hari Sabtu ya itu ya. Di sini udah hari Minggu. Tapi tetap aja kita kita bisa ketemu gitu. Kita bisa ketemu dan inilah waktu yang sesungguhnya yang benar-benar ada itu cuman present moment, saat ini, detik ini. Dan ketika kita bilang Buddha Amitabha itu di barat, ini cuman sebuah bukan, jangan diterjemahkan, jangan dimaknai secara literal ya, jangan dimaknai secara kata per kata harus di barat tempat matahari tergenang, enggak. Bahwa sesungguhnya dia ada di sini, ada di sekarang gitu. Ya, oke, itu do you get the answers?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
You are the one
Okay.
translation because you are the one asking the
Oh, you're welcome. You can always have a follow-up, one follow-up, if you're unsatisfied with the answer.
Yes. Okay, anyone else? This is getting more interesting. No,
actually,
sorry,
with you.
The one thing amazed me because when you talk about, maybe in Indonesia, because we have this Japanese Buddhism branch. We have the Soka Gakkai branch, but I'm not really getting to that. I mean, I don't get in touch with them. We also have some tradition who practice Namo Ame Ringging, Namo. Is that right?
Nam-myoho Renge Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Namo Renge Kyo. And so in my sorry for concluding this. So when you mention some sutra, which is of course also exists in the Pali text and also in the Sanskrit text, it's amazing that when you talk about Japanese Buddhism, they are actually, it is not only chanting and chanting, but also there is a sutra studies. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, in your tradition, they also incorporate a sutra studies, a sutta studies, and it's not only about the chanting and chanting and chanting. It is very important. Yeah, sorry, it's very important for our friends who are watching this, that so they have different view and mind and opinion about Japanese Buddhism. It's not only about the chanting, the ritual.
Well, and Nam Myoho Renge Kyo means I take refuge in the Lotus Sutra. So that's about the sutra. I mean, the embodiment of the energy of the Buddha is they consider is contained in just the name of the sutra. So that they take refuge in the Lotus Sutra. It's a wonderful sutra. It's very long, and whenever I read it, I am completely confused. It's a beautiful thing. I'm always interested when we have a time we can study a seminar or something, and sometimes we will use pieces from the Lotus Sutra in our Dharma teaching. So even though they're chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, if they listen to what they're chanting, they're talking about the sutra. And we study the three Pure Land Sutras are the larger sutra on the Pure Land, the Meditation Sutra, and the smaller sutra on the Pure Land. So one describes how Amitabha Buddha manifested his Buddha field, his Buddha Kshetra. That's the smaller sutra on the Pure Land. And then the Meditation Sutra is an application where the Buddha interacts with Bimbisara and Vaidehi about Amitabha. And then the larger sutra on the Pure Land describes what the Pure Land is like.
Oke. Tadi saya bilang biasanya kalau gambaran kita tentang agama Buddha Jepang ya cuman baca Namo Renge Kyo tadi. Dan beliau jelaskan itu adalah judul sutra Lotus ya, sutra teratai. Dan ketika beliau mencoba membacanya juga masih ada bagian-bagian yang belum dipahami ya. Dan di tradisi beliau itu ada 3 sutra yang mereka bacakan tentang penjelasan tentang Buddha Amitabha awal-awalnya, kemudian ada tentang meditasi dan ada tentang sutra Amitabha yang lebih luas lagi, yang lebih lengkap.
Okay, Rev Matthew, we also have another questions maybe. Some of them Buddhist fellow in Indonesia. Some of them like to, think that which Buddha is the best Buddha, because especially in the Mahayana teaching, there are many Buddhas. There is an Aksobhya Buddha, the Metzin Buddha in the East, and there is Amitabha Buddha on the West, and
the medicine Buddha. The medicine Buddha is very important during a pandemic.
Okay. And also some people think, maybe in this pandemic COVID-19, so the power of Amitabha is not so powerful, so we have to take refuge to the medicine Buddha because that's what we need right now. So what do you think about such thought?
Well, I would go to the last line of the Heart Sutra. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. So gone far beyond. Everyone gone. Yay, enlightenment. Okay, that's my translation of that. A Buddha has gone far beyond what we experience. So we can think of Buddhas like football teams or rugby teams. What is popular is football popular in Indonesia?
Soccer is popular.
You call it soccer or football? The English? Yeah. Okay. So we can think of you say football or you say soccer?
Both.
You say both. Well, that's confusing. Okay.
Because we don't play the American football, so I think maybe we call it just football.
Right. In all of Europe, they just call it football. So it's, yeah. So we can think of each Buddha because we are limited in our unenlightened state and clinging to our ego constructs. We can think of each Buddha like a football team. So, and we can argue about which one's better.
Okay.
But that is not from the point of view of a Buddha. All Buddhas are an aspect of the wisdom and compassion of the universe.
Okay.
And they've gone beyond what we experience. So for us, if we need to have the medicine Buddha be our favorite Buddha because there's a pandemic, that's okay. That's who we are right now. That's what we need. That's how we see the world. Ultimately, all Buddhas are wonderful, beautiful, and they only want us to not suffer. That is their wonderful goal, the wonderful dream.
The essence of Buddhahood is not wanting all beings to suffer. That's why attaining Buddhahood is the main purpose, because when one become a Buddha and then he or she, or I cannot say it, the being has the power to help many sentient beings from suffering, because the essence is that. Yeah. Okay, let me translate first before while I still remember the main point. Jadi gini, kalau di bagian sutra terakhir itu yang gate-gate para gate param gate bodhiswaha, ya pergilah menyeberanglah. Kalau beliau bilang, sudah jadi Buddha. Nah, jadi gini, kita ini konsep pemikiran kita ini masih jauh dari kebudayaan itu. Jadi kita masih nggak benar-benar paham, nggak benar-benar ngerti dengan diri kita yang masih ada ego, ya masih ada ego nih. Jadi masih melekat kepada ego tersebut, maka kita belum mampu untuk melihat Buddha sebagai suatu keseluruhan yang dimana di dalamnya itu, kalau boleh dikatakan, mempunyai berbagai aspek dari belas asih dan kearifan. Nah, jadi kita bisa, kalau dibayangkan Buddha itu seperti sebuah grup atau sebuah tim sepak bola yang di mana-mana yang ada perannya masing-masing gitu. Tapi sesungguhnya dia tidak terpisah ya. Nah, bergantung kepada sosok atau kondisi seseorang, maka dia mempunyai kecenderungan kepada konsep Buddha tertentu. Jadi itu ya, benar ya?
Ya, jadi ini ya, berarti kalau konsep membanding-bandingkan Buddha, Buddha ini yang lebih baik dari Buddha yang lain, itu konsep yang keliru berarti ya?
So reference is like, let me put it this way. So for some Buddhists, for some people, they still see Buddha as a being, as human, okay, as a human. Of course, it's the Nirmanakaya, but actually the essence is not separated, right?
Right.
And because with our limited mind and limited understanding, we still see the Buddha as a being, something that we can grab, we can touch. So that's why we have images. We have the images.
Right. In my temple here, there's an image of Amitabha Buddha.
Yeah.
And we have to have that because we are shaped like that. So we can't conceive of a being that isn't contained like we are in this vehicle that we walk around in.
We still need image to help us to grab the idea of the Buddha. Am I right? We still need that. In one sense, we still need that. I
think until we are enlightened, we need that. And part of enlightenment is not needing that anymore.
Yes. Therefore, all the Buddha's face are the same. You call it the medicine Buddha, the wisdom Buddha, they all have the same face. And at least in the temple, in the Ekayana Arama, they have, in some Mahayana tradition, they have 3 Buddha statue, right? The Sakyamuni. Sometimes next is the Amitabha, and also have the different kind of Buddhas, but they are presented in the same face. Only the name is different.
Right.
Jadi, so guys, don't compare Buddha.
But this becomes a traditional day to remember our ancestors. But we recognize that in a previous life, our temple was a church.